Alrighty, guys, welcome back to the Sleuth Intuition channel. This is episode 41 of True Crime in the Morning. I'm your host, Patrick Vallejos, coming to you live from Phoenix, Arizona. Today, we are looking at the Chelsea Grimm case. We will get going here in just a few moments. Welcome in. Good to see you, V. Marie. Beth Gonzalez, Jerry, the Jersey lady, welcome in. Silas, David Lowry, Saska, Beach Ferry, True Crime Time, Boston Christian, good to see you in here. Silas. All right. Sorry I was a little bit late. Took a walk with my wife. We were talking about our plan to do our own investigation into what happened to Chelsea Grimm. So looks like we'll be going out there this weekend. And she's going to help me out. Her and my eldest. And the youngest will be with grandma. Because we'll end up doing some hiking out there near where they found Chelsea's vehicle. And I know that my youngest can't handle that. Thank you, Mustang. I appreciate that. Super chat. Yeah, you guys don't have to donate, but if you want to help me and you want to be part of this endeavor, I mean, you can always shoot me something to the Cash App and put in there for Chelsea. And I'll put it towards the hotel, to gas, whatever. It'll go directly towards that. But you don't need to. We're set. We're good to go. But if you want to help, yeah, don't worry about that, Mustang. I appreciate you. A lot of people don't mess with Cash App. Me personally, I don't mess with what is it, PayPal? Yeah, I don't like PayPal. That's why I went to Cash App. But we'll get started here in just about another 5 minutes. What you can expect from today's live stream, a lot of body cam footage, and we're going to be using a fair use approach. We're going to be doing a reaction video mainly to those because they are under the umbrella of another channel. And the link to those channels will be in the description. So if you want to watch those full body cam videos, I recommend going to those channels because we will be stopping, interjecting, talking, and discussing some of the items that are brought up between law enforcement and their witnesses. So if that seems annoying to you, we have to do that for fair use, and we don't want to just sit back and watch somebody else's content. So there's not a whole lot out there on Chelsea Grimm's case. So my hat's off to a few of you online sleuths and people who have been utilizing your own time to investigate these cases. Shout out to those who have taken their time to do the FOIA request, get the body cam footage. And some of these folks have gone out there like we're getting ready to do. So we will be boots on the ground. Who knows? Maybe we can stir up a tip. Maybe we can uncover some information. Who knows? But we're definitely fully invested, and we're going to go and try to make something happen. What's up, Sparky? So I think what we'll do first is we'll look at a few reports that were put out by local media, just a few clips. I think that'll serve as an overview. Maybe we'll do 1, 2, maybe up to 3 of those types of videos. We'll look at all of the body cam footage that I was able to find. And I'm still a little cloudy on the timeline. There seems to be some confusion about the dates here, but I could be wrong. So maybe you guys can help me get that straight, and I'll tell you where the inconsistencies are when they come up throughout the live stream. What's up, Cindy? I have been following this case from the very beginning. All right. The Jersey lady, then you're going to have to help me. I want you to serve as a fact checker if you could. And when you hear something, and you, not something that you're speculating about, but something that you know that is factually wrong that you hear come out of my mouth, just feel free to correct that. That's all we're here to do, is get the facts out here. Only factual information is going to help me while I'm out there, right? Because I plan on questioning everybody. I plan on being somewhat of a nuisance, but not in the way you might expect. Good to see you, Melissa. What's up, Ziggy? Thank you, Jersey. I appreciate that. All right, we're at about the 8-minute mark. We'll get going here in about 2 minutes. Like I said, we'll go ahead and look at some reporting done by local media, some of their coverage. That'll be an overview. From there, we'll go into all the CCTV footage, body cam stuff. Then we'll get into some of the speculation, the timeline, and then what I have planned as far as getting out there and boots on the ground. All right, let me get these videos primed up for you. Okay, guys, right away, if you do not hear this video, please let me know. That way we can resolve any audio issues early on in the stream here.
Through the new video tracking down a timeline of her whereabouts. Brianna, what do we know as of tonight?
So we know this new video of her conversation with the Williams police officer is the last known video of her alive. The sheriff's office tells us she was seen once more by someone in the rural area where she was camping, but her family says it's extremely unlike her not to stay in communication and fear the worst.
Hello.
Hello.
How are you doing?
I'm okay. How are you? New body camera video tonight shows a Williams police officer making contact with 32-year-old Chelsea Grimm days before her car was found on a remote road without her in it. In the video, the officer says they got a call for suspicious activity near the...
Okay, now this road right here, this is a cemetery that's in Williams. We'll take a much closer look at it. And I think the last video that I make out there, because we actually plan on staying somewhere right next to this cemetery. So we're looking at hotels right around there. So I think the last video I'll do, and we're going to do a lot of filming that you guys won't even be privy to. All my members, you guys will get access to that stuff early before the editing, just kind of the raw footage. But we plan on putting out, a decent video after a while. But we're going to do a lot of it live. I think the last live we'll do will be here in the cemetery, because she was out here at night. I found the area where she was parked. It's right in the front entrance, and she's facing the cemetery right now. So it's almost as if she pulled off the main road, cut across to the far left side, and now she's facing the cemetery now.
The officer says they got a call for suspicious activity near the cemetery in Williams, and he came to check on her. Chelsea appears to be upset and explains she was working on a photography project.
Are you doing all right?
Yeah, I just was doing a photo shoot of the lost soldiers and got a little emotional, so I was crying before I got back on the road.
Her disappearance, days after this video was recorded, has both family and authorities confused.
Let's go to a comment here by Bobby. Is she missing in Arizona? She's from San Diego. She was planning to go cross country on a trip to a wedding, and apparently she was just getting out of a abusive relationship. You know, what better reason to hit the road? Looked like she had a yard sale before she left, sold some things, maybe even a motorcycle or something like that, a lot of her artwork, and she hit the road. Well, she got all the way to Phoenix, was hanging out with her sister and somebody else, and then it was around, I don't know if it was Phoenix or when she went up to towards Flagstaff, but right around this time she decided, you know what? Um, I don't think I can handle this trip. It's already been kind of rough. Maybe I'm not in the mental state, but for whatever reason, she phoned back to her folks and said, you know what? We're going to call this trip short. We're going to cut it short. But before that, I'm going to go kind of hang out in Arizona and do some camping. And it looks like she kind of followed the historic Route 66. A lot of you folks in Indiana didn't really hear about Route 66 until you were looking into the Delphi case of Abby and Libby. Their main suspect, Richard Allen, who was in custody, he had that hat. Remember, it said Route 66, Arizona. So I'd be curious to know where he got that hat and if it had anything to do with that same area. But I have a feeling she was interested in the Route 66 and filming all this historic stuff.
Searching high and low for tips as to where she went. Here's what we know so far. Chelsea planned to drive from her home in San Diego to Connecticut to meet her family for a wedding, but she told her family she was stopping to camp in Ariz.
Okay, and she graduated college in New York City. So she's from Connecticut, went to school in New York City. So there's just a little bit more background for you.
Arizona instead. Investigators know on September 27th, she met a friend in Phoenix, then canceled lunch with that friend the next day.
Sister
on
and
September
friend.
28th, she surfaces in Williams and has that conversation with the officer, telling him she's planning to camp nearby.
Yeah, if it's okay with you, if I hang out here for another like 15 or 20 and then head on the road, that would be my plan,
Sure.
I think.
Do you have like a hotel around here or anything?
I don't. I was actually thinking of just camping for the night, but I wasn't really sure exactly yet.
Gotcha. Well,
I didn't plan to be here till sunset.
the yellow lights over there, the Loves. It's a trucker stop in the gas station area. You can just sleep there. Nobody will bother you.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, so he's pointing out a truck stop, a Love's. And there's actually going to be some body cam footage that we'll take a peek at here of somebody following up on this tip. So after they started their investigation, they realized that they had body camera footage here from the cemetery in Williams. And this is where me and my wife will be staying here. And we're going to go out here to the cemetery. We'll film right here where she is. We'll talk about what was going on, what we found. But we're also going to go over here to this Love's, and we're going to talk to those folks over there in that area, see if they know anything about what might have happened to Chelsea as well. So she's kind of facing the cemetery. Behind her, over two major road and another highway, is the Loves. So I don't know if she went there or not. If you guys who have been following this case can tell me if we know for a fact she was actually at Love's or not. If you could let me know that.
Love that.
The sheriff's office says on September 30th, a woodcutter in an area near Ash Fork, Arizona, sees Chelsea camping in her car, talks to her, and she says she's okay. But that's the last known contact she had with anyone.
We're trying our best to hold on to the positive outcome scenarios and put our faith in the authorities.
On October 4th, her parents
Jersey.
report her missing. And on October 5th, hunters in the same rural area find her abandoned Ford Focus SUV in the middle of a dirt road with flat tires on the right side. It was locked. Many of her belongings were found inside, but there was no trace of her, and all cell phone and credit card activity has since stopped. The Coconino County Sheriff's Office says while they don't suspect foul play at this point, they're trying to figure out if she got in another vehicle or if she hiked out.
And I don't know if the information that this reporter or this journalist is providing is accurate at this time, or if it was cleared up a little bit later, but we're going to watch body cam footage or parts of the body cam footage. Like I said, if you want to watch them uninterrupted, go visit the channels that are in the description there. They actually went and did the Freedom of Information Act, got their hands on this footage. And this stuff is incredible here for this case. And law enforcement has body cam footage of them interviewing not only a hunter that saw Chelsea out there, but also another gentleman. I believe he was cutting wood for a business he has nearby. And he says when he went out there early in the morning, Chelsea was just sitting there in the middle of the road. Now, he went out and did about 5 hours worth of work and came back, and there she was, still sitting in the middle of the road. So him and a buddy of his kind of pulled up, rolled down the window and said, "Hey, like, are you okay?" And she was like, "Yeah, I'm fine." So apparently near where her vehicle was found, she pulled off that dirt road and kind of tried to hide back there in the trees, because later on they found some of her clothing. And I think some hunters actually had an interaction with her. And they said she was blaring heavy metal music. And all the locals referred to her as like a hippie, or California weird is what they were calling it. But they also reported seeing multiple hunters out there, at least 4 different vehicles. So I just don't understand why Chelsea would have to walk out of here. And I'm going to show you on the maps. This is way out there. Like, you can get lost easily. But why would she walk out of there when there's all these hunters everywhere and all these people? Because it's smack dab in elk season. From my understanding, and I could be wrong, I think elk season is from September to the end of November, I believe. So why would she need to walk? Unless she's suffering from some kind of a mental health situation.
Either way, by the time they began investigating her disappearance, it had already been 5 days since the last time anyone saw her alive.
The sheriff's office tells me they're actively working with her family and friends on any tips and leads. She also has a pet bearded dragon that is a good identifying factor and possible clue to her whereabouts if it's found. Of course, if you have any information about Chelsea Grimm, please call the Coconino County Sheriff's Office, and we'll also be staying on top of this investigation.
Yeah, Brianna Whitney, she's local here in Phoenix. She does really good work. She did good work on the Benjamin Anderson case, and we covered that case as well. That's out of Phoenix. Okay, let's look at 2 more of these, and we'll kind of stop and go and just emphasize some of the key pieces of information.
Tonight, the Coconino County Sheriff's Office says they need your help trying to find this missing 32-year-old woman. Chelsea Grimm was last seen back on September 28th in Williams, Arizona. Days later, her car found just outside of Ash Fork with 2 flat tires. That's where we start this Thursday night here on 12 News at 10 o'clock. Thanks so much for joining us. I'm Jonathan McCall. 12 News journalist Bianca Bono talking with Chelsea's parents tonight. And Bianca, the big question, do they have any idea where she could be?
Jonathan, unfortunately, they don't. Chelsea was on a road trip on her way to Connecticut, where her parents live, when she told them she decided to stop and camp in Arizona for a couple of days. Now they're asking the public to share Chelsea's photo as much as possible with the hopes that someone saw her.
You wouldn't wish it on anyone.
It's been 2 weeks since Stephen and Janet Grimm have heard from their daughter every morning since, waking up with hope that will change.
It's been just an horrible, horrible, horrible experience.
On September 24th, Chelsea Grimm left her home in San Diego for a cross-country road trip, heading to Connecticut for a wedding and to see her parents. The 32-year-old with a master's degree from NYU in clinical social work was alone, with the exception of her pet bearded dragon. 3 days later, her parents got a call.
She had gotten as far as Arizona, and she called us and said, "I don't think I'm going to make the wedding. I don't think I can get there in time." She said, I think what I'm going to do is just take a couple of days and camp. I'll get back to you. Please don't expect to hear from me for a couple of days.
I wouldn't say it was usual, but she's got skills. It's not the first time she's ever been in the wilderness.
After several days went by, Chelsea's parents reported her missing to Phoenix police. And on October 5th, hunters in the Kaibab National Forest northeast of Ash Fork, Arizona, reported a suspicious car parked with 2 flat tires. According to the Coconino County Sheriff's Office, the car, a 2019 white Ford Escape, was Chelsea's, only she was nowhere to be found.
Her pet was gone. Her wallet with her credit card, Her debit card, her driver's license was gone. Clothes and a sleeping bag were gone.
Chelsea's camera was left behind in her car, which is where the sheriff's office found the most recent photos taken by her. Officials immediately launching a search effort in the area from the air.
Okay. Why would she leave the camera? To me, that tells me she planned to come back. So I want to welcome in Anything I Like, Cynthia De La Fuente, Levi, and anybody else that I missed. But I want to go to Anna's comment here. It sounds like she left with somebody, in my opinion. Well, I wasn't sure about that until I saw the body cam footage of officers questioning the woodcutter. Now, he paints a picture of all kinds of people being out there. So why leave your camera there? To me, in my opinion, it's because she planned to come back. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments there.
And on the ground. They say no foul play is suspected.
Even if it seems trivial, we're hoping that someone saw her.
Her family and friends urging the public to come forward with any information, looking forward to the day they wake up and talk to their daughter again.
We can't wait to get our baby girl back.
And Chelsea's parents tell me they typically spoke to her every day. They say her phone was pinged, but unfortunately it was turned off on either September 28th or the 29th. Again, if you have any information, contact the Coconino Sheriff's Office.
So they do have the ping information. Let me see. Let me go to the description. I forgot the name of this guy's channel, but I did subscribe to him today. LTL Media. Now, LTL Media, he had a lot of information on kind of like an updated timeline, a witness timeline. And in some of that information, he was talking about a phone ping. So I'll try to learn more about that and where that took place. Let's go to some of the photos that were found on that camera. Now, this looks like the same place where she was approached by law enforcement, and we'll watch that big chunk of that body cam footage here in a minute. But you can see the cemetery in front of her. And this is obviously Williams, Arizona. And she's airing out the vehicle because she was smoking pot in here. And she's getting ready to hit the road. So I think before her photo shoot, she probably smoked a joint or something, or packed a bowl or whatever. Went and did her photo shoot, came back and was like, oh, wow, it still stinks in here. I can't hit the road like this. I'll spend a few hours airing it out. And I believe that's why all the doors are open. Because when the officer pulls up to her, he says, have you been smoking marijuana? She says, yeah, I was earlier. It's illegal here in Arizona. So he's just worried that he has to give her a ticket for a DWI. But once he smells it and asks her and she confirms it, he's probably observing her. And in the videos, she seems just fine. My only concern is that she seems like she might be like really depressed. So hopefully she wasn't going through any kind of a mental health issue, because we've seen this how many times, guys, that we cover these cases. And, you know, it starts with a little bit of drug use, some kind of disassociation from normal activity, maybe a bad relationship, right? Somebody got her into something bad. or she was just suffering on her own silently. But we've seen it time and time again. Erratic behavior. The missing individual veers off on a dirt road only to get stuck on a rock, get a flat tire. Sometimes there's not even a vehicle. They just begin walking. Like the Mytrice Richardson case. She just walked. They let her out of jail while she was going through a mental health issue. She walked 10 miles, guys, out of the town and into the mountains where she was found. Apparently, she was having delusions. And then recently, we were covering another case out of Arizona, Amanda Nenegar. She was having what appeared to be a mental health issue. Left her hotel, left the door wide open, 3 a.m., ends up just like Chelsea on a dirt road. Her vehicle got stuck on a rock, and people searched all around her vehicle for days. Didn't find her. And then an expert came back and found her less than a mile from where her car was. She was naked and laying under a tree, sitting, I think, leaning against a tree, not far from where her vehicle was. So how many cases like this are we gonna cover? Not quite sure what her bearded dragon's name is. I think it's Rozzy. Roz or Roxy. I don't know. That kind of looks like mace right there, maybe. Can of mace. Some air freshener. There does seem to be a coffee cup in the passenger seat, but it doesn't look like anybody's there. Some kind of a stick here. These are just cigarettes, tobacco. Look like spirits. It's like a pair of leather gloves. Welcome in, Grunge Truck. Check her ex's phone data. I hope that they did. The thing is, when they're missing, it's like they don't really do any of that. We know in the case of Amanda Nenegar, the family towed the vehicle out. Police didn't check for fingerprints, didn't check for anything. The family had to tow it out, and they really didn't care. It's very strange. Looks like another black bag here. Now, this kind of looks like the area nearby where she was found. But here, or where her vehicle was found. But here she's not on the road. Looks like she's off the road. I don't think that's still here at the cemetery area. Yeah, this looks like more where her vehicle was found. Good to see you, CJK. Either plan to come back, never come back, to leave a prized possession. And I don't know if she listens to heavy metal or death metal, but one of the hunters says at some point after she kind of pulled back into her little camping area, she was blazing her music. Or somebody was. Apparently it was some heavy metal type music. So this looks like a video or a photo taken when she was actually stuck. She's in the middle of the road. This might be right around the time she actually went missing, which was September 30th. Now, it says 8:51, but there's just no way. Because you can see the sun's out. It looks like the camera was set to Eastern Standard Time, so that would have been 5:51, which seems more appropriate for September in Arizona. She's probably catching the sunset. They are beautiful here. The Jersey lady said she had a AAA card per her parents and could have called for help with tires. So my only question is, did she have cell service? In Amanda Nenegar's case, she left her vehicle because she was having bad service. She couldn't really get a decent signal. So she looked around and she saw that there was a tall hill or a mountain peak that she could kind of climb up on top of. And she went up there and was trying to do something, trying to get online, but she wasn't able to. But she was able to use the emergency services. So I don't know. Did Chelsea have bad service out here? What's her coverage? Who was her carrier? Do we have a coverage map of that carrier for this area? Maybe she was thinking to go get she was trying to find a signal and got lost. Hey, welcome in, Candace. Good to see you. Yeah, grunge truck. That's what I'm saying. A lot of people, they'll suffer in silence. You know, when they're around their family, they'll put on the mask. Like, yeah, everything's hunky-dory. Everything's all good. Don't worry about me, Pops. I'm good, I promise. And then they go in the car and they cry for 5 hours because they're suffering. And from the outside, you can't really see anything, but inside, it's like it's like jackhammers going off. I don't know if that's what she was going through, but I know in a lot of cases, there's some paranoia, some delusion. And going back to Amanda's case, she seemed a little, the things that she was saying were strange. But she was talking in a calm tone. You know, she's like, yeah, she was listening to instructions. So if you weren't there to investigate or to take a very close look, you wouldn't think anything was wrong. But in actuality, she may have been completely naked during that call. She may have had a medical emergency. So over the phone, she sounds fine. But if you were to see her in that very moment, instead of just hearing her, you would have been able to see that something definitely was wrong. And all the witnesses, they really didn't interact with her too much. Just asked her like, hey, are you okay? Yeah, I'm fine. Maybe she wasn't fine. Maybe she just got into a habit of telling everybody, yeah, I'm fine. But anybody she's ever asked for help just kind of hurt her. Who knows? No, apparently she took the lizard with her unless it got away. I'm not sure. She did drive off road quite a ways. They think that is how the tires were damaged. Then she came back. Yeah, so she went off road. I'm assuming she did it because she saw all the hunters coming and going. And she's like, I want to get off this main road. I want to tuck my vehicle away right here so nobody knows I'm out here. You know, I'm all alone in the middle of nowhere and all these guys with guns keep walking by me. Anna says they think she took her lizard with her. That's what I read. They believe that. The location is still accurate when you lose signal. I don't understand how people drive into an area and fail to backtrack to a main road when they get in trouble. You have to go out here into the desert. Everything looks the same, Anna. There's no landmarks in some cases. Very easy to get lost. Everything looks exactly the same. And the nightmare about getting lost in places like that, like in the woods or in these rural areas, is the more you try to get unlost, the more lost you become in most cases. Yeah, CJK says, agree, Anna, especially if you know for sure the way to go. Honestly, I don't even know what the hell she was doing out there. She may have been lost to begin with. I mean, she's not from there. I don't know a whole lot, CJK, about the ping, but I do believe it was somewhere near between where they found her vehicle and Ash Fork, Arizona. So if you were leaving Williams and going to Ash Fork or to Seligman, Arizona, you would have to go through Ash Fork. But the area that she was found, she most likely turned off right there in Ash Fork. Yes, Candace, she is missing. Okay. Yeah, we're going to go visit that hotel in Seligman. It's called the Aztec Motel. That's what the Jersey lady one is talking about or referring to. There was an investigator who went down there and was able to get a copy of that. So good job to him. All right, let's take a look at some of this body cam footage. We'll go to first, let's go to her being pulled over at the cemetery in Williams. I'm not exactly sure where I got this video, but the rest I'm pretty sure. Let me see all the links I put in here. The majority of these came from LTL Media. And I mean, this guy, he covers a lot of cases. He's really good. I was watching him this morning covering some court TV. So I'm planning on emailing him. letting him know that I plan to go out there and with his extensive knowledge, what he thinks I might need to do out there. Because I mean, this guy's been covering it. This video I did not get from him, so I apologize. I'm not sure where we got it, but either way, we'll be doing a fair use, showing it in a fair use capacity. So if you want to watch the full video, I'll find the link to this one as well. Okay, Williams, Arizona, and I believe this is at about 8. I want to say 8:40ish. Oh yeah, timestamp 8:40.
Hello.
Hello.
How are you doing?
I'm okay. How are you?
I'm doing great. Are you doing all right?
Yeah, I just was doing a photo shoot of the lost soldiers and got a little emotional, so I was crying before I got...
I'm just making sure someone called it in. So
Oh, I'm sorry.
No, you're quite all right. I mean,
I was just doing a photo shoot, yeah. Packed up. I'm going to leave soon.
Okay, if you notice when the officer pulled up, she was crying. I mean, she was full out crying.
Okay. But I just didn't want to drive like that. Sad.
I got you. You've been smoking a little bit of marijuana?
Earlier today, yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Cool. Do you have your license on you by any chance?
Yeah.
It gets me all emotional too.
Yeah, it's just, I'm trying to do a series on the lost and the forgotten people.
Okay, Lost and Forgotten People. She's doing a series on Lost and Forgotten People. I don't know if that's why she's on the historic Route 66. Why is she out so far out in where her vehicle was found? I mean, she's deep into hunting territory. You know, people go camping out there to get away from civilization. What is she doing out there? Is she lost? Is she just saying, I have a map. I'm going to take this road. I'm going to take it all the way. And it comes out over here. I think about 80 miles away would be the Grand Canyon. Like where I just don't understand where she was going, how this fits into her plans, and how it ties in with all the other things that she was up to.
In this country.
I know you told me that you smoked marijuana and you're kind of, obviously I would be in an emotional state as well. I don't know if you want somebody else to drive you or if you just want to hang out here for a little bit longer. You're more than welcome to do that.
Yeah, if it's okay with you if I hang out here for another like 15 or 20 and then head on the road, that would be my plan, sure. I think.
Yeah, I don't see any signs of impairment or anything like that. So
yeah, no, I mean, with my eyesight and then crying, it's not the best combination at night.
I totally understand.
And she's alone at this point in time. So there's nobody with her. But later on, we're going to hear about a person of interest from one of the lead detectives, Mr. Luna. Sounds like he has a person of interest in mind, or somebody that he would like to talk to, who was seen with Chelsea, I believe, on the 29th.
Just going to like cry on the road, or I'm just going to sit here and cry. So I got my dragon, and I'm just.
Oh, that's freaking cool! I didn't even notice that.
Thanks, Rosie.
Wow, Rosie.
Rosie.
Wow, right on.
She got bored.
Yeah. Do you have like a hotel around here or anything?
I don't. I was actually thinking of just camping for the night, but I wasn't really sure exactly yet.
Gotcha. Well,
I didn't plan to be here until sunset.
Okay. You can't camp in the city limits. It's kind of like a city statute we have.
Okay, good.
But you can always go. I don't know if you can see like the yellow lights over there, the Loves. It's a trucker stop in the gas station area. You can just sleep there. Nobody will bother you.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Love that.
Yes.
Get some good shots at sunrise too there.
Oh, right on.
Yeah.
Yeah. The sunrise here too. If you ever want to take photo shoots of like the statues in the morning, dude, it's really cool because the sun like rises right behind them.
Amazing. Mm-hmm. Okay, I'll probably stay at the truck stop then, save some money, and then come over for the sunrise.
You got it.
Cool.
All right. Well you have a great time.
No. Right here, her tires were not flat. She's still in town here. She's in Williams, Arizona. She's smack dab in the middle of Williams at the cemetery. So what I think happened was she went to Seligman September 27th, and we're going to look at that photo or that footage here. But before we do that, let's give a shout out to this gentleman. I think his name is Steve Fisher. So I found Mr. Fisher did his own investigating, went down here, just like we're going to do here this weekend, and was able to get some footage of Chelsea coming to the Aztec Motel. I mean, this place looks cool. So, I mean, she's going to all these really cool places. So I feel like she's on Route 66 and she's just trying to make the best of it. And then she's out while kind of going through something, maybe. She was using euros. Let's see. Let's read this. And I don't know if he has a YouTube channel or not. I know he was on a few other channels, but SF Investigates. So go check him out. And we'll watch part of this video here. So he's asking this gentleman here if she knows anybody in town who exchanges euros. And I have a feeling here, it's my understanding this is September 28th right here. So she's most likely, checking out? Because how is she here September 28th and then being pulled over September 28th at around 8:40? So that tells me she was here first. So why would she drive past Ash Fork, stop in Seligman, Arizona, stay at this place, leave early in the morning, drive past Ash Fork again, going back to Williams, get approached by law enforcement, and then the following day, apparently she was seen somewhere around the Loves, and then go back to Ash Fork and then into the mountain. Like, why would she do that? She seems to be focusing a lot around Ash Fork. It's almost like an anchor point. So I wonder if she made a friend.
Town exchanges euros. I was trying to stay off the grid. I don't really.
Okay, she says, I'm trying to stay off the grid. I don't want to use my card. I don't know, guys. To me, that's not normal behavior. That's, and I'm not saying maybe she wants to, because I know people like that. But, it doesn't seem normal to me. It doesn't seem like normal behavior. It kind of feeds into that whole part of the paranoia. Some kind of delusional behavior. Somebody's after me. Or maybe somebody is after her, but because of her paranoia, it's personified or amplified.
What's the problem? I was hoping not to use the card. Unless you take euros.
Okay. So that is CCTV footage, and you guys can get a better look at it if you go check out SF Investigates. I found him on Twitter. CJK, was her car found on a visible road? Very visible. It was dirt. It was a dirt road. Highly traveled, mainly camping, hunting. There's a few ranches out there. Yeah, we'll take a closer look. Maybe we can do that. Yeah, I guess we could do that now. We just have so much to go over today. I didn't want to make this into a two-part segment. So let's pull out the Google Maps. Good old Google Maps. We'll look at the boyfriend's Facebook too. We'll go into a lot of that speculation. Okay, so this is basically going to be our trip. Right? Okay, so from Ash Fork, so you got Williams here where she was taking photos at the cemetery. Kind of give you a better idea where she was right here. Oh, wait. Let's take a look at the Loves. Because we're going to see some body cam footage from Loves right now. So here's the cemetery. The Loves he was pointing at is right here. And she was parked right here. Now we know that because it's not that hard to match up her photograph and the CCTV footage. And her photograph was right here. So she was parked on the left side of this road. She had some items kind of thrown around on the ground and all her doors open. My thought was that she was trying to air out the vehicle before she went out on the road. Let me pull up the vehicle, Candace. I think this photo might have been taken by law enforcement as well. But this is how it was found. There's reported to be damage to the front, but I don't see it in this photo. Officers were actually looking for white pieces of the fender. So I don't know if maybe there's a fender that kind of comes right here. And it was torn off. Not quite sure. But you'll hear in the body cam footage where they're talking to a hunter that came across her campsite and some of her clothing. No, these tires look a little flat too. But apparently it was both the right side. Now, if you're driving by, you're probably going to want to pass her on the right side, especially if you want to talk to her. And you might not notice those wheels are flat over there, or if there's any damage to the right side of the vehicle. So when you ask, hey, are you okay? You're not thinking, well, you have two flat tires. And she didn't mention it. So I'm wondering if she left this area and went over to the Lowe's and kind of started mingling with some folks. Let's look at that body cam footage. Now, it looks like this body cam footage is where we're going to see a police officer going into the Loves. And he's basically following up on a lead from Detective Luna. Detective Luna said, "Hey, I'm over here doing something for Chelsea. Will you go over to the Loves and try to get a hold of their CCTV footage?" It is a little upsetting to watch the investigative officer or the officer there that's there to retrieve it not really putting in his full effort to find out what happened or if something was going on with the Loves was related to it. So that part was a little bit upsetting. Seems a little dismissive. But once again, we'll be stopping and going with this viewing it under a fair use capacity. But if you want to watch the full video, like I said, go to LTL True Crime Podcast. Okay, now I actually did some editing on this one here because the audio, it sounds like the officer may have turned his audio down when he was having a somewhat of a private conversation with the manager, Jason, here. And also, there's going to be a woman by the name of Christy. Seems she's talking about a person who may be somebody other than Chelsea. Because after she kind of leaves the scene and stops interacting with the officer, she's talking about this person that spent a lot of time in their facilities and the subway that's attached to it. And she's seen her multiple times. So she warned management about her to call it in to law enforcement to investigate. But later on, the manager says, well, kind of makes fun of Christy a little bit, saying this is the shit I got to deal with. But the person that she's referring to is actually a 50-year-old vagrant, homeless person that kind of lives in the area. So I don't know if he's trying to cover up, who knows if he's trying. This is speculation, most likely not what's happening. But the officer will never know if he's trying to cover something up, But take a look. We'll have audio here in just a minute. That's Christy.
Yeah.
She seems nice.
She was wearing black, red and black.
Yeah, we were hoping to.
I hope you can get the video. We tried looking for it, but I couldn't remember exactly what day, but it was Tuesday that she bought a blanket from.
Okay, hold on. There's something I wanted to pull up while we watch this calendar. So this footage is on the 10th of October. Tuesday would have been October, looks like the 3rd. So this woman is saying that she saw her on October 3rd, but we know that she lost her vehicle was, I think, last seen on the 30th. So yeah, it seems like she is talking about somebody else. Could be wrong. But it's these types of things that are frustrating when you're trying to investigate these cases. I call it the human element. For instance, with the Amanda Nenegar case, there was a gentleman just 2 weeks after she went missing. More people started bringing in more attention, gaining attention. And this fool called the family and stated that he's seen her in Oklahoma. He lives in Oklahoma or someplace like that. I'm pretty sure it was Oklahoma. And he swears that it was her, that she dyed her hair from blonde back to black, and that he saw her tattoos, the little heart tattoo on her finger, the rose on her right hand, and that she was with these two guys. They didn't pay, they put in $50 prepaid and only spent like $30 and didn't get their change. Like, he created this whole story about how he's 100% positive. So it gave them hope. And it was just a really annoying part that I'm starting to learn about when it comes to investigating these cases is the human element. And that's when people they have their own bias, and for whatever reason they want to infect you with it. You know, they try to convince you and they try to embellish, and they want you to follow their lead when really it has nothing to do with anything. And I have a feeling that might be going on here with Christy. She's telling this officer before he even has a chance to look at the footage, hey, I saw this, I saw her, I know who you're talking about, got a good look at her. And then shortly after, the manager's telling a different story.
Right there.
Yeah. Hi.
Telling me about?
Yeah. Hi, how's it going? Good. Hey, Jason. Hoping to try to get your help in getting some video surveillance from the 29th of September.
He said video surveillance from the 29th of September.
Where at? Okay. It's, dang, okay. As far as where at, I'll have to call the detective back, but give me a time frame, so at least that kind of helps. That helps. Yeah, so let me, that's a good question.
I'll show you the idea.
Yeah. Perfect.
Did you find her on there, Jason?
No.
See, she's like all about it. Did you find her in there? So it looks a little suspicious, like almost like Jason's trying to hide something. But in reality, he's probably just annoyed that this person's interjecting all this misinformation.
Tuesday? Because remember, she was sitting in the thing and she had those 2 suitcases, the black suitcases that were empty?
Yep.
And she sat in Subway at the second booth for a minute because I think she was eating or something.
Right.
And you talked to her.
Yep.
And then that same day, she came over and bought a blanket from Joe Q.
And she stayed down there at the taco truck.
Is that where she was?
Or at whatever truck.
I couldn't, when I
He's
came
like,
back
yeah,
on
the lady you're
Wednesday,
talking about.
I couldn't even find the shopping cart that she had. Because she had a shopping cart with cushions and, empty suitcases.
Okay.
So she seems positive, but if she saw her Tuesday or Monday and Tuesday, that would have been after the 30th. And I believe her vehicle was seen September 30th, if I'm not mistaken.
Maybe we could start with
out where it was found.
Yeah. And then she had a sign Tuesday afternoon that said Seattle. She wanted to go to Seattle on a cardboard. But
where was she flying it?
Huh?
Was she flying inside?
She was inside. It was inside her cart. She had a shopping cart from Seattle, black shopping cart.
Okay.
Because on Monday morning, I seen her
Seattle,
coming
like
up
what?
with her shopping cart and 3 cushions and 2 suitcases.
Okay, now at this point, you think he would pull out a photograph, right? Is this the person you saw? She'd be like, oh, no, that's not her.
And then when I came in on Tuesday, I alerted him. I said, we can't have this, it's just not respected. But I didn't know she was, and she never asked for help. She came in like 3 or 4 times and never asked anybody for help. She walked around with a blue cart that we put our milk in the store, and I alerted Joe Q, and I said, Joe, maybe you should have that investigated. Maybe you should call somebody, authorities. But he was like, no, Christy, it's all right.
All right. Thanks, Christy.
So yeah, here you can kind of hear where I turned up the volume. Well, this is the part where he's going to give a description of a man. He says Hindu man, East Indian. The description that was provided by the witness was Middle Eastern man, short hair, trimmed beard, with a mustache, wearing a t-shirt with a brown or green pants. Apparently was seen with Chelsea. Okay, now the manager just said the woman that she's talking about is over 50 years old. It's not the person you're looking for.
Wow.
I know the other one is a lot younger.
Let me,
See what I do with?
yeah, I understand.
He says, see what I deal with? They're like making fun of her
I
now.
just got here a month ago.
Oh, jeez, yeah.
Your call has been forwarded to voicemail. The person.
Of course you won't answer.
Yeah. But yeah.
So I believe he was trying to reach out to Detective Luna. I don't know a whole lot about Detective Luna, but he appears to be the lead on the case.
Show you what we have on camera wise.
Okay.
So this is all the inside of the store wise.
Okay.
Which is pretty decent actually. It's good for inside the store, but outside the store we only have diesel pumps.
Okay.
You know, obviously inside subways. And then
Yeah.
truck carrier.
Do you know like where exactly she was at in the store?
No.
I'm guessing Christie's.
Not Chelsea.
Oh, to the person.
The person that she,
Oh, here he tells a little bit more about.
Not Chelsea.
Oh, to the person.
The person that she's talking about, I
Okay.
actually had to ask her to leave because she had all her suitcases. And she's in her late 40s, maybe early 50s.
So not Chelsea.
Not Chelsea.
Gotcha. All right. Well,
So he's kind of clearing. He's kind of clearing that up. But let's go all the way over because of time here to where he gives that description.
Okay, that'd be great.
See what I can for the PM or 8 a.m.
PM.
Yeah.
To 10 o'clock.
Okay.
And then let me scroll through to see if he's wanting anything else.
I think right here is where he tells him.
Okay, so here's the thing. So, I mean, keep this kind of between you and me, but
Okay.
so Chelsea, I guess, was seen on the 124 road on the 29th.
Okay.
Okay, 124 road, and I'm not sure where that is. We'll look for that. 124 road.
With a quote Hindu man.
With a Hindu man. And this would be the 29th.
Okay.
So if you see anything on the camera with like a Hindu looking guy, East Indian, with her, that'd be really helpful.
Okay.
Then
that might, so I'll be able to look at both of those.
Okay. So the description is Middle Eastern man, short hair, trimmed beard with mustache. I guess that's like the typical kind of guy.
And is she with somebody who actually has euros? I don't know. I wonder if she could be with somebody.
Says he's wearing a t-shirt and brown or green.
Okay, so they said description Middle Eastern. And like I said, guys, if you want to go ahead and watch that full video, go to LTL True Crime Podcast. Link is in the description. Okay, let's go to another body cam. Body cam. Police speak with woodcutter near where Chelsea's vehicle was spotted. Okay, so this is from LTL True Crime Podcast. And we're going to stop and go, and we'll be viewing this under a fair use capacity as well. So if you want to watch the full uninterrupted video, make sure you go there.
No, we're not talking about Aaron at all. Ever.
So it looks like they most likely met where her vehicle was. And the woodcutter this is his vehicle here.
All right. You need to stretch out. All right. Yeah, he contacted Chelsea at her disabled vehicle 2 weeks ago Saturday. What he said? Okay.
Okay, 2 weeks ago Saturday, and it's the 12th. So what's that? That's the 30th, right?
No, 2 weeks ago.
Tomorrow.
It'll be this Saturday.
Oh, yeah, okay. Yeah, 2 days out. And you
Okay.
said she was parked and...
Yeah, 30th or the 29th?
Just the other side of that cattle guard.
Yep.
Where you head down into that flat.
You said you stopped, talked to her. She said she was
Stopped,
fine.
Anna says lots of Americans can't tell Middle Eastern from Mexican, just saying. I was thinking the same thing. And the body cam footage, there's kind of a guy, he looks like he might be Mexican, but he kind of has that Middle Eastern look. And I was like, he has a trimmed beard and a mustache. But he kind of walked like he wasn't from around here. You know, there's a certain walk people have.
Because when we came in about noon. She was parked in the middle of the road then. I thought, Well, you're from California. I mean, seriously.
No, 100%. No,
You know what I mean?
I feel you there. Yeah.
It's about noon on Saturdays when you.
Yeah, about noon on Saturday, and we came in and we cut 2 loads of wood.
Okay, so noon, that means that she was probably getting ready to head out, right? Why didn't she ask for help?
Came back out, it was right at dark. It was starting to rain and she was still parked there, so we asked her if she had any trouble. She said, no, we're fine. She says, I'm just taking pictures and you just missed a beautiful sunset.
So she was at her vehicle at noon. You go in and cut wood. You're coming back, and she's still in her vehicle. Okay.
Right, Mustang?
You asked her if she needed help, and she said no.
Yeah, she said, no, everything's all right. Just taking pictures. I thought, well, yes, with California plates, you're entitled to do whatever you want. But
He seems to have some issues with the California folks. I mean, here in Arizona, we do have a problem with California people kind of moving in. There's a whole lot of people moving out of California, moving into Arizona, because I could see an old timer like this kind of getting upset about it. I don't know if that's any motivation to do anything bad, but apparently he was with another gentleman who was, I don't know, retired, but was previous Phoenix police investigator.
Did you notice if she had the flat tires at that time?
the vehicle did not look the same. It looked this. I mean, I would have noticed it if it been down on one corner or one end.
But it's kind of a slow process.
I kick around this country a lot. So.
Yeah.
The picture of the poster you showed me. That picture.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
And then, did she seem coherent? Knew where she was?
She seemed to be fine, other than, excuse me, California weird.
See, he called her California weird. So I don't know. I don't know if they got into an argument or what. I'm not sure, but I think she would have asked them for a ride if she was planning to ask anybody. Why didn't she ask them for a ride or say, yeah, I have 2 flat tires? I just don't understand why. Why did she just walk away? Because she took her sleeping bag. Did she say, F it? I'm done with it. I'm going to walk as far as I can, and that's it. So there's not a whole lot more in this footage. It's about a 13-minute video. So if you guys want to watch all of this, make sure you go to LTL True Crime Podcast. I mean, great stuff. Like I said, there's not a whole lot on Chelsea's case. So my hat is off to those folks who were able to get this information. But we'll watch part of this one. Here's some more footage. This is going to be an interaction with the hunter that actually came across her camping out here. So they're at the location where she was camping. Now she went off-road into an area where, she kind of blazed her own trail. And back here they found 2 articles of her clothing hanging on a tree as well.
Girl's doing out here.
I think we're all trying to figure that out.
And the car, I thought I've seen him picking it up. Wasn't really all that far, but while the car was still running, she could have been doing anything. This is definitely a little narrow car. It's not an SUV or anything like that, or it's not a side-by-side.
She had an Escape, which was like a cute ute, but the tire, it's hard to tell because it was shredded. But it looked like on the side that wasn't damaged. There was it was a car.
Yeah,
tire,
you could tear the shit
car.
up bringing it back here.
So that's what I was trying to watch for.
Yeah, so they're talking as if she brought it back into some place, and that's how she popped her tire. So I'm thinking she got off road. She found a spot where she can kind of park and hang out for the night, and make herself comfortable. And that's why you heard this loud music. You heard the loud music because she was, relaxing. That's the first thing I like to do when I go camping. Crack a brew and turn the music way up loud. Usually it's the Eagles. So I don't know. Is she into death metal? Heavy metal? I don't know. That's what they were playing. Think she would be playing music that she likes unless she was with somebody else. And they started playing heavy metal, and she's like, turn that shit off, dude. You're going to run the battery down.
Coming in and out, I'll pay a little more attention going out. I took a slow walk back after I located it. So your coordinates were spot on. So thank you for that.
Through what we had on Onyx maps, the hardest thing we were driving all over Hell and Creation at 10 o'clock at night trying to find enough fucking signal to send all the stuff the guy wanted.
Okay, did you hear what he said? He didn't have a very good signal. He said, I had to go all over the place to try to get a good signal to send the guy. He doesn't realize that the guy he's talking about is the guy that's in front of him, is the cop that he's talking to now, is the same person that was requesting all this information. But the hunter is telling the officer, man, I could not get a good signal. I had to kind of move around to try to find a signal. And when I go camping, it's like that. You know, you have this one spot where you just leave your phone and it's really good if you need to check your emails or you want to play Pandora or play some music, leave the phone right there. So is that what happened? She left her vehicle to try to get a better signal and she got lost. I really don't understand why she would leave her vehicle unless she did it on purpose. Drugs, maybe, mental health. I just don't see why anybody in their normal state of mind would refuse a ride out of there. Because it would be very simple. We've had flat tires while camping. You get a ride, and then you come back with with help. Especially when you got two flats, you can't just put on a spare. Kind of screwed.
And I think it got worse last night, and then this morning. Like where you were yesterday, I had decent service, but today I don't.
We didn't have any problem at all calling and talking to him. I could send a text.
Yep, Anna.
Just
That's what
letters.
I'm thinking.
Right.
But when I try to send a picture or any of the other shit with more data, we ended up driving halfway up to the meadow and I got most of them to him. But
yeah.
Anyway.
No, I think it was you I talked to last night. No, I think this is
So there's not really more that's exchanged here, but let me take you to where he kind of walks down to her clothing. But apparently this is where she was camping. Okay, so he leaves the hunter and he's kind of walking down here. Yeah, at least, right, Candace? But you might have a point there. Okay, look, that's her clothing. It's just hanging there on a tree. You guys see that? Oh, hold on. Let me go back. Why would she forget her clothes? I mean, I guess it's possible. Gosh, discarded garments, same thing out here with Gwen Brunel, except she was only 44.44 miles off the main highway. So it's the same story over and over again. Erratic behavior, almost seemingly trying to get away. Something's after me. Trying to run away. Find themselves lost on some dirt road with a flat tire. And then they wander off. And the thing too, also, if you become extremely thirsty and, your blood sugar and you get dehydrated, you start to start going through a mental health issue. She could have maybe, I don't know, maybe she got stung by something, bit by something. The hell is she doing not getting a ride or not waiting for somebody? I feel like I don't think she's afraid to ask for help. You know, she's been all over the place. Spent time in New York City, big bad NYC. I don't know. I feel like she may have gone with somebody and either she told them, hey, like, don't tell anybody you found me, or they hurt her. It can really only be three things. She left. She's still living. She asked them not to say anything. She left her vehicle, got lost, and succumbed to the elements. Or somebody did give her a ride and they hurt her. It looked like she took care to hang up her clothes, or she left the garments as a signal. Apparently, she was camping back here. So she pulled her vehicle back here, was hanging out, most likely stayed the night. I'm thinking the 29th to the 30th. Pulled out early the morning of the 30th and realized her tires were flat. But according to the guy who was out chopping wood, he told law enforcement that there was all kinds of hunters out there, at least 4 different groups of people. Now, I think it's just very strange that all of these people would just go past them and not even try to help. I feel like, I don't know, they might need to look at those folks who were out there that day. Because either she's out there and people need to keep looking for her body, or she's just wandering around trying to lay low. But you think there'd be sightings of her everywhere. I don't know. Either way, it's not good. All right. Because we are running out of time, let me take a look at some other items here. So here's that Aztec hotel place. Seems very nice. We're going to stop by here. Go ask a few questions. Thought about staying here, but I didn't want to do any backtracking. Blind Squirrel says, my gut says that Chelsea wants to be a gone girl. Yeah, I've known a lot of people like that. I dated a girl like that when I was a lot younger. She was a hippie. She never shaved her pits. She always smelled like BO because she didn't wear deodorant. She didn't wear any makeup. And one day she went and joined the Renaissance Festival, and now she travels the world. I don't know where she is now. Every once in a while I'll hear about her. But yeah, she went up off the grid, changed her name. What is that called? A tramp? Like a super tramp or a hobo? But yeah, and she was like a hippie too. Chelsea kind of gives me hippie vibes too. I don't know, Anna. Let's see what else I got here. Okay, so I'm not exactly sure where this photo came from, but it's definitely Chelsea. Looks like a Bible. She has the date here, September 24th, 2023. So this is just a week before, not even a week before she went missing. I can't read what this says here. She mentions her ex-boyfriend here, poor PJ. Not sure what this says. God blesseth. But yeah, that definitely says poor PJ. There's like all this different writing. Things are highlighted, underlined. And that's her tattoo there. But there's like a cut right here. You guys see that? Looks like a scratch. Unless it's like part of her tattoo. Looks like there's some red ink here. I don't know. Maybe it's part of her tattoo. Not sure. Here's a screenshot of the clothing. Yeah, it kind of looks like. What is this? 16:3. Chapter and verse, right? 16:3. 16:3 of what book, though? Looks like she's about halfway through the book. So I don't know if you guys want to look that up real quick. Verse 16:3. And then she has an arrow pointing over here to poor PJ. PJ's her ex-boyfriend. He tried to set up a GoFundMe so they can go boots on the ground. And the family quickly came out and said he's not her fiance. He's an abusive ex. Yeah, see, this is very similar to the cases we cover. The religious part of it all just pops up out of nowhere. You know, with my Treese, actually, what was the case here? Might not be. Hold on a second. Okay, let me see if I can pull this up. This is a different case. This is from the case of my Treese Richardson. Very similar. She was on a mission from God, something to do with I think hurting Michael Jackson's like manager or something like that. It was all like a lot of delusional stuff. But she was found eventually right here. Her bones were kind of scattered like right here. This is a hard to get to place. But same thing, she was having a mental health issue. She was arrested. Law enforcement didn't pay close enough attention. Let her go, and she just wandered. She just kept walking with her own purpose. She was motivated by something we just can't understand. Only she really could understand it. Patchouli. That's always, you always hear that word whenever you talk about hippies. So very similar case. Let's go. Okay, I think I was watching JLP Investigates, and on one of his videos, he took a screenshot. One of Chelsea Grimm's Instagram videos from about 2 weeks from before she went missing. She was having a yard sale, and she had this book out on the table here. So I enhanced the photo so that we can try to read it at least. And I kind of turned it. So it looks like kind of like a to-do list. This part is really hard to read. This one says, make gallery doves. I'm not quite sure what this says. Something photos. Graffiti something. South Africa. New York City. Stacked. ABT. Art. No, stacked art. Fond or Ford. And then nature. Then here, feed Roz. Roz tell. Varnish paintings. Here it says sell bike. Deposit money. So sell bike. Why would she have a bike? And then she has a crotch rocket that's back there. I think I have a photo of that. What's interesting is that her ex PJ, he's into bikes. He has photos of crotch rockets, cruisers, all kinds of stuff. Choppers. So did she sell his bike? Take the money to finance her road trip, and he went and chased her down? Right here it says book flight home to New York City. So this looks like maybe her goal. If I do all of this, I'll be able to get this. What do you guys think? Let's see what else it says here. Sell bike, deposit money. Work on myself, maybe? Work on myself. And I'm not sure what that says. Work on... Thinking that says myself. Maybe, I'm not sure. / something. Jersey says it is a to-do list before she was leaving. She was in custody for something else when she went missing. Oh, yeah, you're talking about my truce? Anna says she planned to drive to the East Coast for a wedding, then decided it was too much to do. I assume flight from New York would have pertained to a full trip. Planned to sell her car. And I know people who would do that. They would get a car and they would travel and they would spend time somewhere. Then they would sell their car and fly back to wherever they came from. When I was younger, I used to run into people like that a lot. Let's see. Cover letter for book. I can trust that love must be there. I can trust that love must be there. So am scared. Scared and I am safe. I am, I don't know, it kind of looks like healing. Healing or helping for every aspect of blank that needs healing. Can't read this part. I am something, life beyond my something. This looks like lotion or the other half of a word. Something O-T-I-O-N with an apostrophe or exclamation. Work on myself, yes. Oh, he was in jail. She was trying to get him out. So not quite sure what that's all about. But here is another part of the video. So you can see there's the bike that's for sale. Pretty sure that's not hers. And then she had a whole lot of art on display for sale. Here's a timeline. So she left home. She technically went missing on the 30th, I believe, and then she was called in as a missing person on the 4th of October. So from San Diego, she meets up with her sister and a friend in Phoenix. I think her sister lives in Phoenix. Bailed out of the trip for whatever reason. And I feel like it was historic Route 66 that attracted her to the Williams area. But why did she end up out here in the middle of nowhere? I think she might have gotten lost or she was going through something. Jersey says she had a plane reservation, but found out she could not take the Lizard, so apparently decided to drive. Why couldn't she take the Lizard? Okay, I think I have her Facebook and PJ's Facebook bookmarked here. We'll finish with that. Okay, here's Chelsea's. Oh, really? That's stupid. Thank you, Mustang. Right? This is my seeing eye lizard. So look at her friends list. There's a guy from Shelbyville, Indiana. Creepy stuff. Well, Middle Eastern guy. Hmm. Looks like one of her friends here. I don't know who this guy is. He kind of looks like he's from India or some shit. Looks like an ex-boyfriend or something. Let's take a look at PJ's Facebook. Okay, now this guy ended up out there, I think like a week or two after she went missing, and he tried to set up a GoFundMe, and he was with some tracker, and they were making videos talking about how they're going to be boots on the ground and people should donate to him. And the family said he is not her fiance, because he says it in the video. He's like, I'm her fiance. So they corrected us as, nope, he's actually an abusive ex. Do not donate. So how does this guy fit into everything? You see here, he's friends with Chelsea. He just posted 3 hours ago. Very active on his Facebook. Most recent, few months after her disappearance, December 14th, 2023. November 17th. Looks like he's rebuilding a motor. Yeah, I don't know if this guy has any involvement at all, but his name seems to come up a few times. Looks like he's got some bloody knuckles. Yeah, so I don't know. But that's going to do it, guys. That's everything I have right now on Chelsea. Like I said, we're going out there Wednesday. Let me give you a little bit of idea of where we plan to go. So, of course, we'll start here in Phoenix. And if you guys want to help, just hit the Cash App and put in the comments Chelsea Grimm. You don't need to, but I know if you want to be part of this little journey we're gonna go on, you're more than happy to help out. So we'll be staying in Williams, somewhere near the cemetery. So yeah, I'll probably have a live scheduled for each one of these locations. And I'll keep you guys updated in the chat of each separate live. We'll have one for Williams. We'll have one for Ash Fork. And then another for Seligman, Arizona. And then also for the search if we have service out there. And this is Seligman here. Well, that's Ash Fork, but if you keep going, you'll run into Seligman, the Aztec Motel. So I don't know what happened here, but I think I'm going to stop here at the Oasis Lounge and ask some questions, kind of snoop around a little bit. And then we'll make our way over here to Seligman. One Solved Mystery, welcome in. So yeah, that'll be the majority of our little adventure here. We're just hoping to shake loose a new tip, new piece of information, anything really. I'll spend a significant amount of time at each location, asking questions. I'm going to stop in with law enforcement, see if there's anything that they can provide to me as far as an update. And I'll take you guys with me the whole way. We'll stop and go whenever we can. I know you guys just don't want to see me driving all the way to Flagstaff. So probably once we get to Flagstaff, we'll go live. We'll do a quick check-in, and then you'll see everything mapped out from there. Yeah, Anna, if I get lost, you better come out here and find me. I know you guys will too. If anybody could find me, it would be you. Yep, good to see you, Blind Squirrel. Hopefully we can shake something loose up here. This is where we plan to search. me go back a little ways. So this is most likely where she turned into the mountain right here on Double A Ranch Road. And this is the area where I selected to go search. Yeah, dehydration. Well, the weather was freezing too. In September, it's cold out here. It's freezing cold at night. I mean, it could get to like 19 degrees. So she would have needed a fire or some kind of shelter or get out of there by day. But yeah, we're going to go under this little bridge here. And then go up this mountain just a few. And her vehicle was found about 5 miles. I guess you would say stone's throw, or as the bird flies, I guess, as the crow flies. So from a straight line from right here, it's only 5 miles up this mountain where her vehicle was, but it's actually like another 30 to 40-minute drive if you go around. So her vehicle was found right up here, right there. So I figure she might have walked back down this way. And we're going to search right here. This is about from here to here is about 2 miles. And I think me and my wife are going to search this side of the road, and then we're going to come back and search this side of the road. I'm going to look under trees and places where she might have stopped to rest. And for whatever reason, may just not have been able to make it out of there. So those are my plans. Thank you, Candace. Yeah, we'll be safe. Annis's Flagstaff is a hippie destination now, isn't it? 100%. Surprised she didn't go to Sedona. Thank you, Mustang. I appreciate that. I reported that she took her sleeping bag or that it was not present at her vehicle. Yeah, so we're going to keep an eye out for a sleeping bag that may already be wrapped up. Yeah, definitely a hippie town. Not so much nowadays, but Mustang, I'm going this weekend. We were going to go in 2 weeks, but things just worked out this way where we're going to get out there a little bit earlier. Grandma's going to watch the youngest, and me, my wife, and my oldest. We're ready to go. They got my back. They're going to help me out, and we're going to see if we can find some clues, some information. I mean, it'd be nice to get a tip, something we could tip in. So if you guys want to help, hit the Cash App, hit the Zelle, whatever, and we'll make sure any funds that are donated will go directly to, really the only thing we need is food on the road, gas station, and hotel. So if you guys want to help, that's appreciated, but you don't have to. We're already ready to go. We got everything mapped out. Maybe a little bit more planning on my end, but we're good to go. And if you do help, I'll make sure you guys do get that recognition. Man, we got a raffle coming up too. So if you want to go register on the new website, sleuthintuition.com, or if you want to donate for the Boots on the Ground Fund for Chelsea, you guys will be, your names will be placed into a raffle. We're going to give away some Sleuth merch. Hoping it'll give the website a little bit of boost. The website's not ready, so don't judge us. It's not technically live, but I didn't want to keep it hidden from you guys. So go ahead and scrutinize it. Give me some feedback on it. But we successfully have the merch shop up. You can make purchases through Cash App and Zelle. We are able to live stream now directly to the website without any help from YouTube or any other application. We're able to just go straight live. I'm working on a live chat for you guys. That way, we always have a backup and we always have a home there at sleuthintuition.com. So bear with me. Eventually, it'll be something really cool. I'm sure of it. Yeah, we'll keep a lookout for snakes. Don't worry. Good to see you, Hiawatha. All right, guys, that's it for me. I appreciate everybody who caught the live stream. If you're part of the replay crew, you know what to do. Drop me a comment. Shout out to all of the channels who have been working to bring information for Chelsea Grimm. Hats off to you guys. I'm just trying to follow in your footsteps. So if you guys can reach out to me with any helpful information or anything you might think is important, shoot me an email, sleuthintuition@gmail.com. But once again, if you go to the website, sleuthintuition.com, all my information's there, my business phone number, my email address, and ways that you can also support the channel and help us boots on the ground.